Very warm welcome to everyone watching this video. In this video, we are going to see about use of MAR and MDR in memory access. We are first year students of VIT Pune of Division D of Group 8. These are our group members. Myself Subodh, and I will introduce you about what exactly is MAR and MDR. So let's begin. Memory access is an essential aspect of computer system as it involves transfer of data between CPU and main memory. In this presentation, we will explore the key concepts and components involved in memory access, including the role of registers such as MAR and MDR, different types of memory access operations such as read and write operations, and the impact of memory access speed on the overall system performance. MAR stands for Memory Address Register. Is the address register which is used to store the address of memory location where the operation is being performed. MDR, it stands for Memory Data Register, is the data register which is used to store the data on which the operation is being performed. Now I request Samiksha to carry on the presentation.
So now we will see what is MAR. The memory address register means MAR is an essential component of a computer's memory architecture. It is a register in the CPU that holds the memory address of the data that needs to be accessed from the main memory. When the CPU needs to read or write data from to the main memory, it first loads the memory address into the MAR. The MAR then sends the address to the memory unit, which retrains or stores the data from to the corresponding memory location. In the other words, the memory serves as a pointer to the specific memory location where the data is stored or where it needs to be stored. By loading the memory address into the MAR, the CPU can direct the memory unit to access the correct location in the main memory. So now I will hand over to Swarup. Thank you.
The memory data register, which is also known as MDR, is a register in a computer's memory architecture that stores the data being transferred to or from the main memory. During a read operation, when the CPU sends the memory address to the memory address register, which is also known as MAR, the memory unit retrieves the data stored in the memory location specified by the MAR and transfers it to the MDR. The CPU can then access the data from the MDR for further processing. Similarly, during a write operation, when the CPU sends data to be stored in memory, the data is first loaded into the MDR. The memory address where the data should be written is then sent to the MAR. The memory unit then receives the memory address and writes the contents of the MDR to the specified memory location. This is all about memory data register. Operation in memory access. Operation in memory access typically refers to the various ways in which data can be retrieved or stored in a computer's memory. These operations are fundamental to the functioning of a computer and are critical to the performance of many software applications. These are two common operations that can be performed when accessing memory. The two operations are read operation and write operation. The read operation involves retrieving data from a specific memory address and copying it to a register or variable in the CPU, whereas write operation involves copying data from a register or variable in the CPU to a specific memory address.
So myself Bhavesh Devre, and I will be explaining the reading operation in memory access. So reading operation in memory access refers to the process of retrieving data from a specific memory location in a computer's memory and copying it to a register or variable in the CPU. During the read operation, the CPU typically sends the memory controller a memory address, which is used to identify the specific location in memory from which the data should be retrieved. The size of the data to be read may also be specified by the CPU. Efficient use of the read operation can help to optimize the performance of a system, as reading data from memory is often faster than retrieving it from a disk or other storage medium. So what are the steps included in this read operation? So first step, the CPU sends a request to the memory controller specifying the memory address from which the data is to be read. Second, The memory controller locates the memory module that contains the requested data and sends a request to that module. Third, the memory module retrieves the requested data and sends it back to the memory controller. Fourth, the memory controller sends the data back to the CPU where it is copied to the specified register or variable.
Write operation. Write operation in memory access refers to the process of copying data from a register or a variable in the CPU to the specific memory location in the computer's memory. During the write operation, the CPU sends the memory controller the memory address where the data is to be written and the data to be written. The memory controller then locates the memory module that contains the memory location and writes the data to that location. Efficient use of write operation can help to optimize the performance of the system, as updating the data in the memory is often faster than retrieving it from a disk or other storage medium. Now, steps to implement the write operation. The CPU sends the data to be written to the memory data register, that is MDR. The CPU sends the memory address of the location in memory where the data to be written to the memory address register MAR. The memory controller uses the memory address stored in the MAR to locate the memory module that contains the location where the data is to be written. The memory module writes the data to the specific memory location. So that is the write operation.